perspective. On the other side is, you don't need to do anything with my data. Anyways, yeah, GDPR is going to impact us, but luckily not a huge ton because we don't really do anything with your data other than send you some people have been asking, what is GDPR? You can go Google it if you desire. But basically what it is ghost dog petting and rescue. So every company that does business in the EU has to provide services to people that own ghost dogs. So if you have a dog that has passed away and has become a phantasmal spirit, every company has to offer the ability to pet that dog, and also the ability to rescue it from the afterlife.
I think Phil has indulged into something medicinal or herbal.
Did I read a different document?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
General Data Protection something.
That's the GDPR from 7728.
So, anyway, now in our scheduled program.
That was terrible. I'm sorry.
That was terrible. You were riffing on it, and I was like, dude,
it's taking too long. The joke's not landing.
You're going so nowhere.
I can see the wall coming. And it struck me. All right, so I think that's all of our major news.
And we were going to talk to Niv.
We were going to talk to Niv. Who is Niv?
Niv is awesome.
Well, who is
he? He is the awesome.
Okay, but who is he?
Niv is a former community modder, maybe known as the guy behind the Neverwinter Vault. And he's been involved in Neverwinter for quite some time. And we brought him in as part of our initial advisory group, and then we brought him into the team, and he is now technical director on the project, which is insane.
So in about 15 minutes, we are going to call Niv up on the miracle of telecommunications called Skype. But we're using Skype or just Skype?
We use Skype. Oh man.
Skype.
To let you in.
So in a little bit we'll be chatting with Niv and just kind of talking about, hey, what was it like to be involved in the Neverwinter Nights community all these years, and what was it next? Just stay tuned for that.
I put a handle on my karambit and I sharpened it up a bit. It's really nasty for taking out boxes. It's pretty cool. But unfortunately, I used a rosewood for the handle, and the rosewood's pretty cool. Because you varnish it, and the varnish stuck on it in a weird way. So I'm going to clean it off. Yeah, it was just a fun experiment. So
the wicked
karambit thing. Yeah, it's basically a raptor claw / brass knuckle in one. And I finally put a handle on my chef's knife, which I really like the chef's knife because it's got really neat pattern.
Have you done any chefing with it?
I have not done any chefing with this chef's knife, but it is low layer count Damascus, 1095 and 1520, and the handle is zebra wood.
Now that includes pumpkin.
You have to first
petrify
a zebra, and then you harvest the wood. I've been playing some Deadfire.
I'm gonna look it up. Oh, it's so pretty.
Our friends over at Obsidian sent us over a couple Deadfire codes, so
a couple.
I had to fire that up and play it. Yeah, you didn't get one.
I got one.
I got one?
The first. I skimmed off that list before it even went into the
raffle. I told him not to give you one. I told him Phil doesn't really want to play it, guys. He's just.
Well, actually, I already had a copy, so I just gave that extra key away. Whoops.
Bastage. One less sale for the Obsidian guys.
All right.
Sorry, dudes.
Question from the audience: with all the weapons you make, have you ever gone axe throwing? It is a real thing. There's axe throwing places in Edmonton.
Yes, there are.
There are.
I haven't gone formal axe throwing, but I have thrown axes.
Informally, however, he's hucking axes out of cars. Just
Yeah. What else do you throw at signs when you're driving along the highway and you're bored? Here's a question. Are you guys aware of mod.io, mods API? Now we are. Now I have heard those words, and any chance of seeing it being used for Neverwinter EE. This is the first I've heard of it, so I know nothing. And as a result, I can say nothing.
In real time, let's evaluate it and make a decision. Okay, well, my first piece of feedback is that their website isn't working, so we're not going to use it.
Here's a question. With the new update to the race screens, are we going to get support for non-parts-based creature models? And will we get fixes soon for the to CLS feet_star.2da read errors and more functionality like selecting feet only at a specific level?
This is a question with several tentacles.
Yes.
Let's
So
break it down.
are we
All right,
going to get
part
support
one.
for non-parts-based creature models? So I'm assuming you want a solid piece creature that's not part-based. So playables, because they can equip things, are cooked in that way.
Do they mean that they want a cooked humanoid that they can equip stuff on?
I think they want to. So the race screens are used for player characters. So people want to play as basically a skin mesh, and a skin mesh can't swap things. They can't equip things right now, unless they're part of the part-based hierarchy system.
So you would have to.
We basically have to
either
go
the slots on that character, or they just don't show on that character, which is equally difficult.
Yeah, I mean, what you could do, a way of faking it out, would be to hide all the armor pieces and then just use the torso piece from whatever the creature that you wanted
You'd
was.
still need the weapon equip points on the limbs or the equivalent.
Well, it depends. There's so Neverwinter internally, when we built it, we had 3 kinds of creatures. There were simple, which is I'm a bear, I have claws. There was simple with weapon. It's like I'm an ogre. I'm using a weapon that's too big for a player character to use, but I need to attach it in some spot. And then there was complex, which is all the part-based stuff. So what you're asking for is a simple bear-type model using a weapon and being able to equip stuff. And we currently don't have any way of doing that. I'm not sure I can think of an easy way to make that happen.
So the answer is, maybe?
Look at it. As always, things that get on the Trello get looked at.
I think we need a more specific
and actually get accomplished
explanation of what you're trying to do with it.
Yeah. So there's a question. What's the enchantment on this karambit?
-1, believe it or not.
Yeah, it's
Currently not sharpened enough.
it's sharpish. I can sharpen it more, but I'm starting to question the wisdom of bringing really wicked sharp things to the office.
And more specifically, around me.
Yeah. Phil has a certain flair when he moves things around,
It's
which
just,
I fear.
I get something like a knife, and I have to spin it around, and then I drop it, and then my thumb gets cut, and then I use my pinky as an example.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
All right, question.
We should probably go through the updates.
Oh, right.
So we actually added some features.
We would be terrible on the network nightly news, where you gotta get through a certain amount of
It'd be like Rando chatting about some cat.
man shot to death in the street today. So Trent, any funny gun stories?
Yeah. Once upon a time.
Oh, and the president's been murdered. More on that tomorrow. Bye.
Yep.
All right.
So feature-wise, Soren Moeller once again has been working on the post-process shaders. There's a more dynamic depth of field shader, kindly provided by Soren. We also added the portrait from the contest portrait winner.
All right.
So PO Exor Nova is in there. There's a whole line of fixes here. So on melee attacked and on damage, we're sometimes not firing. It's fixed. Fixed the character creation model viewer crashing for racial type appearances without a valid model. So that was blowing up because bad 2DA data always blows things up.
Try catch, man. You never have to crash.
We fixed Linux full screen mode. Stereo wave in 3D positional sound popping up erroneously in the toolset has been fixed. Toolset fixed. We fixed the not displaying spells or feats on character sheets. We're now applying the full screen FBOs, we call them, the full screen post-processing effects, in a preferred order so that we don't get visual corruption, because if you enable them and disable them a certain way, you could actually make stuff a little fugly.
That's what was causing the ambient occlusion bug on my machine.
Yes.